Kavita is there? Yes, Kavita is there. Okay. So for the duly start of the program, first take the blessings of Ma Saraswati. I request Ms. Anjali Jha to digitally display Saraswati Vandana.
आप अपना माइक ऑन करिए।
Okay. Sorry for the as technical error is coming. Sorry for the delay. So with the start of the session, I would like to share the brief introduction of Institution Innovation Council. The main objective of an educational institution is to encourage teachers and students to explore, research, and use all the tools to uncover something new. Therefore, the Ministry of Human Resource Development, Government of India, has established MHRD Innovation Cell at AICTE with a purpose to systematically foster the culture of innovation in all higher education institutions. Okay. अपना पकड़िए।
Dr. Shilpa, you are clearly audible. You are clearly audible, Dr. Shilpa. We can hear you.
Okay. So once again, thank you, Ira ma'am, for giving me this opportunity to sit over here because a technical problem is coming at my laptop. So with the start of the session, I would like to share brief introduction of Institution Innovation Council. The main objective of an educational institution is to encourage teachers and students to explore, research, and use the tools to uncover something new. Therefore, the Ministry of Human Resource Development, Government of India has established MHRD Innovation Cell, MIC, at AICTE with a purpose to systematically foster the culture of innovation in all higher education institutions. So Bundelkhand University Jhansi established its IIC on 19th August 2021 to promote innovation among its students by encouraging, inspiring, and nurturing them through periodic activities. So, in today's session, we have graceful presence of Professor Aparna Raj, President IIC, Professor M.M. Singh, Convener IIC, all eminent faculties, eloquent speakers, and very enthusiastic participants. So, now I would like to request Professor M.M. Singh, Convener of IIC, to give the welcome address. Sir is there? I think M.M. Singh sir has joined, no? I'm not able to see him here. So, shall I just? Okay. So now for the welcome address, I request Dr. Ira Tiwari to kindly deliver the welcome address, please.
A very good morning to all. A very good morning to all respected dignitaries. It's a real pleasure to have you all with us in the first program of the IIC Q4 activity. And here in this program, at IIC stands for Institution Innovation Council, and we actually aim to provide a platform to the budding entrepreneurs and startup founders. The president of the IIC in Bundelkhand University is respected Professor Aparna Raj Madam, and the convener of the program is Professor M.M. Singh sir. The IIC as Institution Innovation Council in Bundelkhand University aims to explore the features wherein innovations can be carried out and how the startups and founders can stimulate students for a successful entrepreneurial journey ahead. In that context, I would give a hearty welcome to all our three respected guests. Ms. Ritu Sharma, who is a Delhi-based entrepreneur. We welcome you, ma'am, here, and she is a real inspiration. She is a real inspiration to budding entrepreneur as she deals with handicrafts and activities that may lead to small-scale enterprises. We also have with us Mr. Parikshit Khanna, and he is basically an entrepreneur and a motivator as well as an influencer. And the third one is Ms. Kavita Sirotia, and she is working with BR Agrotech Limited, Bharat Group, New Delhi, and she would like to give us hands-on training on how to develop approaches and how to actually execute them in the real-life scenarios. So all the three guest dignitaries are very renowned persons in their fields, and it was a real pleasure to have them with us in this session. So not taking much of the time, I simply elaborated the purposes of the IIC, which acts as an incubation unit of the university in order to provide a good platform for the students. The audience for today's session mainly comprises of the faculty members as well as the students from Bundelkhand University as well as from outside, and they really aim to gather fruits of knowledge from our respected dignitaries. Then mainly the focus is on that our respected guests would be sharing about their journeys, their motivation, how they have started, what problems they faced, and how the budding entrepreneurs can actually launch their own enterprises when they go ahead with their entrepreneurial dreams. So it is one of a kind activities where we handpick people from the real performers, and they grace us with their presence, with their guidance. And this is actually an initiative by Ministry of Education, Government of India. So everything is actually in response to creation of an ecosystem and incubation unit where students can genuinely learn from real performers. So I hand over the mic again to the main coordinator, Dr. Shilpa Mishra ma'am.
Thank you so much, Ira ma'am, for explaining the activities that are conducted in IIC. Thank you so much, ma'am, for welcoming you all. So in the process of economic development, the role of entrepreneur is very, very important. So in order to promote and influence entrepreneurial skills, motivation is an important factor. So motivation either come by own or either influenced by someone. So motivator not only guide you, but show you the path where to move on. So for this, today we have an eloquent speaker and a digital trainer also, Mr. Parikshit Khanna, New Delhi. I request Mr. Parikshit Khanna to kindly encourage our participants and our all budding entrepreneurs.
Thank you so much, Dr. Shilpa, IAC team, faculty member, for this opportunity. So, I'll be starting my presentation.
Mr. Parikshit, kindly unmute you.
Am I
Kindly
audible right now?
unmute yourself, please.
So if I'm audible right now? Yes.
Mr. Parikshit,
Yes, you're
we are
audible.
not able to hear you. Kindly unmute yourself.
Shilpa, I'm audible.
Yes, we can hear
I
you.
hope, yes, thank you so much, everyone. Yes.
Shilpa is
So I'll
audible,
be-
very much audible.
Perfect.
ये हो सकते हैं ना अपने आप से?
Parikshit sir is audible then.
Mr. Parikshit, you are on mute now.
So am I audible right now? I hope.
Yeah, you are audible
Yes,
now.
yes. Thank you so much for the feedback. So in this presentation, we will be doing things in a reverse manner, and I hope you can see my presentation as well. You can type or you can give me a feedback. So in this presentation, the reason we are going to do things in reverse manner, because I request everyone to mute their mic. It might create a problem for me.
Yes, sir. Now you are audible.
Okay.
Mr. Gautam,
okay.
can you please mute yourself? Mr. Gautam, Mr. Anand Gautam.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Perfect.
Mr. Anand Gautam, can you please mute yourself?
Host can mute them.
Okay.
Mr. Anand Gautam, yeah, thank you.
Okay. So in this presentation, I will be running the reverse presentation. I will be sharing my email ID. So in case I forget, you can note down my email ID and you can note down my website as well. Do you want to become an entrepreneur? Type yes in comment box. And in this presentation, I will be sharing my loss of 4,400 crore rupees. And so if you are interested for the same, my name is Parikshit Khanna. I'm a digital marketer and a content creator. I'm the co-author of Amazon best-selling book called Rejection to Redirection, and also author of the book called Digital Black. I'm associated with more than 2 digital marketing firms called Foracles and Love to Think. I also like to share in this particular presentation, I will be talking about seed fund, risk-taking, goal setting, and failure. I will be needing your support. If you can share what do you understand by seed fund. Anyone can type in comment box about your understanding about seed fund. What do you understand by seed fund, entrepreneurship, and how do you think everything is correlated? Thank you so much, Rajat. Entrepreneurs are self-fund for their startup. What is the actual term called seed fund? Anyone? So if we talk about any big startup like Zomato, Flipkart, on initial days, they're surviving on the seed fund which they got from investor. So seed fund is the funding which they get in the starting year. It can be 1 lakh, 5 lakh, 10 lakh, 20 lakh. Every startup, whether big or small, they applied for seed fund. Yeah, initial capital for initial operation. Thank you so much, Vijay. Yes, so seed fund is the core of any big business which you are seeing right now. It can be Swiggy, Zomato, Flipkart. They all survive on seed fund. And we have to talk about risk taking, goal setting, and failure. As an entrepreneur, if you cannot take risk, you are bound for a big failure. You need to set a specific goal. So I have to share one story with you. This particular story is of my startup called hostelgoodies.com and .in. It got started way back in 2014 and it got ended in 2016 because because of my personal failure, because I failed to take a risk, and because of the lack of seed fund. And I request each and every one of you to please mute your mic. It may create a problem for me. And the reason I got failed as a startup owner for Hostel Goodies because of the low funding which I received. I have to share one incident with you. While doing my MBA in 2014, can you please mute Somya Rajput? Can you please mute your mic? So while doing my MBA, I got to participate in the competition called IIM Calcutta I2I for a funding of 50 lakh rupees. So only I managed to get this proof for you. I was one of the 20 participants that take part in that particular competition. They have put my poster all over the IIM Calcutta campus with me and my partner called Shubham Tyagi. And I want to share the exact replica of the presentation which I've shared over there. So as a startup owner, you have to give a proposed solution for any problem. So the solution which I have found is there on your screen. I thought that I will be making goodies for all the students living in a hostel. So this is my proposed solution, which I have shared over there. The second slide I have for you is if you are a startup owner, you have to create a prototype of your business. So if you can see this particular kit, this is having all the, my voice is echoing, I think. Okay. So this is a prototype which I have created. I thought I will be giving fresher goodies, personal care goodies, electronic goodies, anything that anyone living in a hostel will be needing throughout their journey. This is a customer life cycle. So if you're pitching for a high seed fund, you have to show customer life cycle. So customer life cycle includes step number 1, anyone will come to Hostel Goodies. Step number 2, they will be ordering something from my website. Step number 3, logistic team will deliver the order or they will get the order. The 4th, this is a customer life cycle. So this is one of the most important part of the slide. And this is the final part of the slide. I want you to observe this slide and type in the comment box, what do you think? There's a major blunder over here. Can anyone figure out by seeing this particular presentation? Keeping in mind this funding which I was applying for is of 50 lakh rupees. How much money have I written over here? Can anyone type in comment box any blunder they can make out? Thank you so much, Akshita. Asking for a money of 1 lakh rupees for a competition of 50 lakh rupees. Anyone else? Because of this particular slide, I lost the competition. I asked for only 1,50,000 for a business plan competition of 50 lakh. If you want to go big in your life as a startup, you need to ask for a bigger amount. It should be 1 crore, 2 crore, 5 crore. Then only you can have profit. And you have to show the investor your revenue projection. So what is my profit projection? 8 to 12% on FMCG margin and other sources of revenue affiliate marketing, online advertising. This thing is not good enough to fetch me 50 lakh rupees. If you're going for any big competition, seat for round, you need to calculate your revenue to the point. You need to give proper plan for ROI. So that's the one of the learning which I got over there. This is our unique selling point. What is unique selling point? If you are a startup or entrepreneur, you need to show what's there unique in your business. So if you are a Zomato, uniqueness can be instant delivery. For McD, uniqueness, what's unique in their brand? Their burger. For KFC, what's unique? Their tasty chicken. So what's unique for our business? Discount coupon of different food outlets, gym and beauty salon. So if you are going for a startup, you need to have a USP if you want to succeed over there. The next slide, this is our target market. We thought we will be going from North India to South India and we will be conquering it. And you know what happened? My startup got failed. So I will be sharing 3 lessons that I have learned from my failed startup called Hostel Goodies. Lesson number 1, no guts, no glory. I failed to take risks. I don't have guts at that point of time to go for my business plan. The second lesson I have learned is your action should match your ambition, which means that if your ambition is to become an entrepreneur, your action should be matching your ambition. Why can't I take action at that point of time? Because I was after money. The another reason for my failure is not able to take risk at that point of time. The reason I cannot take a risk at that point of time because I thought if I become unsuccessful, how will I get a job? How will I get a job from a placement department? The reason I'm after the job because I thought if I don't get a job, how will I support my family member? So I have such a clutter of information at that point of time. If someone would have told me as a startup owner, you can get a job as well, it would have saved my startup at that point of time. You know what happened at that point? After 2016, I started doing jobs. So I got hired by Reliance. Then I got hired by these brands over the time in last 5 years. And inside my mind, I always think that if I would have taken the risk, I would have been much more bigger than Big Basket and Grofer. They are doing the same thing. They are delivering instant food at whichever way or any time that you want. So my startup could have been bigger than Big Basket. So revenue of Big Basket is around 1,000 CR and Grofer. If you sum up, that's my total loss. And you can calculate. So if I talk about my corporate achievement, this is my corporate achievement. I don't want to emphasize much more on it. And if I talk about my achievement as a digital marketer, these are the list of my blogs that are ranking number 1 to 5 on Google. Best books to read, advantages of Facebook Meta. And I have created special bundle pack for you. So I want you to be very attentive once sharing it. If you are a college student, this startup bundle can fetch you a good job and it can make you super successful. The app that I have for you is Canva. So if you want to create graphic, I recommend you to install this Canva app inside your mobile to design graphic. It will take 1 to 7 days to master this particular tool called Canva. You can open up this particular website. The second tool I have for you is called Render Forest. If you are a fan of creative videos, animation, I recommend you to type renderforest.com. Using this particular website, you can design creative 3D videos, which may help you during your startup journey. The third tool which I have for you is, Akshay, can you please mute your mobile? Thank you. The third tool which I have for you is Hootsuite. If you think that how bigger brands, they automate their social media, it's all because of this particular tool. You can automate your social media. So now let's talk about the last point, which is Grammarly. If you are a content writer, you can use Grammarly to fix your grammatical error. It will help you with your startup journey, or it can help you your journey as a content executive. So while doing digital marketing, I have seen people doing these three blunder. So if you want to succeed as a startup over social media, please stop using copy and paste. Once you do copy and paste for any content, you will not succeed. The second mistake which I have seen people doing social media is sell, sell, sell. If you are doing social media, you have to interact with your audience. You don't have to promote your product very aggressively. And the third point, which I have seen, is I know everything approach. If you're a startup or an entrepreneur, I've seen them saying that I know each and everything. So this particular approach will make you a failure over digital marketing. So that's all I have to share in this particular presentation. Thank you so much for the opportunity. Thank you. Thank. Over to you, Shilpa ma'am.
Thank you so for elaborating. Okay, okay. Once again, thank you so much, Mr. Parikshit, for explaining and elaborating so many different platforms. As you have explained it very well, and you have also told various mantras that the profit should not only be the motive while selling your product online. Other platforms should be focused so well, like what all to use by the entrepreneurs as well as who will purchase the things. Like digital platform knowledge is very much important, and you explained it very very well. Thank you so much, Mr. Parikshit. And you also told that how to cope up yourself in this digitalized and the corporate world. Thank you so much once again. Now we have another motivated speaker, Ms. Ritu Sharma, who was her own motivational story behind her entrepreneurial journey from innovation to creation. So I request Ms. Ritu Sharma, startup founder of Udi MSME, to kindly share her success story with all of us.
Thank you, Dr. Shilpa. I'm really honored to be here, first of all, and good afternoon, everyone. I would really like to begin with by thanking the Honorable Vice Chancellor, Professor Shamsher Bundelkhand University, Jhansi, Professor M.M. Singh, Convener, IIC Bundelkhand University, Jhansi, Professor Aparna Raj, President, Institution Innovation Council, Bundelkhand University, Jhansi, for giving me the opportunity to share my startup journey with you all. I also am grateful to the organizers, Dr. Shilpa Mishra and Dr. Ira Tiwari, for introducing me to this event. So I would like to open my presentation with a quote from the legendary Nelson Mandela. I quote, "It always seems impossible until it's done." Unquote. Hi, I'm Ritu Sharma. I'm the founder director of Udi, and I'm happy to share my entrepreneurial journey with you all. So I would like to share my slide presentation, and I'll take you forward with my journey. So this is me, as you can see, and from here I start with with my small journey and a very simple one. And I would like to share that I have named my brand. As you can see, my brand name is Udi. I've named my brand Udi with the blessings of Sai Baba, because he is my guru, he is my supreme mentor, and the name is an inspiration from Baba's Vibhuti, which is also known as Udi. So my startup in itself is a blessing of Baba. And here I begin choosing to be unconventional. So my inclination towards painting was there from my childhood, and I had won competitions throughout my schooling. It was in 11th standard. This picture is from my 11th standard. It was from in 11th standard when the seeds of my journey towards my passion were sown. After completing schooling, I had chosen to go unconventional by picking up textile designing and not doing the regular graduation. It was not easy to take and convince my father about my idea. So, but I could make it because the dream was deep sown inside. So I was able to convince him. So then I landed up in my college. This is my college gang. These are my batchmates. And here I say the artist in the making because I was able to get what I wanted from my childhood, like to do something creative. And it wasn't easy for me coming from a small town and getting in college in Delhi and being in hostel away from home and family. So I could relate to the to Mr. Khanna when he was saying that giving goodies to the hostel students. I wish I could have met you that time. So yeah, but my dream kept me going on, and so there was no stopping at that point of time. So today, among my batchmates, I feel proud to have my own startup. And then, after completing my textile designing in 2001, I I started with my professional journey as a merchandiser and designer with an export house where I brought the business worth around $6 million from my own creation. So the designs that I made, so I could bring good business to the company. And further, I took a leap in a Spanish liaison company, which is El Corte Inglés, and it's the biggest departmental store in Spain, where I was heading the accessories division. So I feel proud, like it was a journey which was fruitful and moving ahead. And later I also, these are my buyers. I got an opportunity to be an export consultant for European and US customers. And when working as in my professional career, I have saved the export industry. I served the industry for 15 years, almost 15 years. And while working as a consultant, my dream of uh, having my startup was shaping up. It actually started during this time when I made up my mind that now is the time, now is the right time that I have to take another leap. So this is, guys, the beginning of my startup journey. As you can see, it's a big stall over here. You can see my mother. She's my pillar throughout, and to keep motivating me for my dream. So she has always been there. So here begins my startup journey. While working on handmade products, the products that you can see here are all done by me. Uh, and this was I was doing when I was again I was working. I was also doing my job, and I participated in couple of exhibition events under my brand name, and so that I could test, that before I even plan to quit the job, whether I'm moving in the right direction or not. So whatever exhibitions I did, I got very fruitful results out of them, which kept me going on again. And then this was all offline that I was doing. And then lockdown happened, and now these are the three people you can see here. So to tell you more about them, I would like to say something that, like a lotus flower, your skills will expand outward from a center of strength and confidence, said Robert Greene. Here are my mentors who have given me their unconditional support and encouragement throughout. So from offline and coming on to digital, I have Dr. Rajat Sinha. He is my digital coach, and he's been there always in support to take my journey on the digital platform. Mr. Chandra Prakash Batheja, Mrs. Anjana Batheja, they are the angels in my life, and I would call them my second parents. So because they believed in my dream and they thought that I can make it. And then I have Dr. Kamal Kotwal. She is truly and in the real sense an empowerment coach, because I got a lot of confidence being a woman and moving and going on this challenging journey. So she keeps a track with me, and she's there to guide me all the time. And here comes my second achievement. This is the digital watercolor design paper, as you can see in the image at the side with my brand name and the name of the paper. This is a design book which I made, and this was the first time ever in India someone has launched the hand painted watercolor design sheets. And this was launched online on Facebook. You can see the picture over here. I'm explaining different commodity products that you can make out of this design papers. And this was a huge success, and I really felt proud that I could bring something on the digital and sell it out. And then I would like to share some of my other products of handicrafts which I make. I've been doing offline and now on digital, and it's scaled up because of the online platform. So these are some of my products. These are for bulk orders that I'm doing for corporates, for wedding occasions, for any other kind of events. And here you can see the bulk and wedding orders. Uh, then the third benchmark was, I last year I got a chance to launch my calendar for 2021, and this was a huge success for me. Which again this was launched digitally, so and was a huge success. I sold whatever I got printed. I was able to sell all the copies, and that gave me another to move forward for the next year. So this is something special I would like to share with you. This is my community from the digital platform. We are a close community where we are all learning digital marketing. And I was honored when I got the opportunity from my coach, Dr. Rajat Sinha, to do a DIY workshop on this Diwali. And again, everyone loved that. It's really awesome to scale up on digital because you get to explore a lot of things and meet a lot of people and become a family. All right, so here is something which I want to share with you all, and what could be a better platform than being in this event and share my calendar launch. So this is a launch of the new calendar that I've designed for the next year, and this is open for sale. And I'm happy that I can share this here. And if you would like to get this from me, then I'll be sharing my details, contact details in the chat box. You can definitely get in touch with me. I'll be happy to serve you all. So that is it. And something uh, which I want to conclude. Now, this is my Facebook group. Uh, that's again a big group that I have created, and it could only happen because of being online. So that's my group. That's my email ID, and it's rightly named as Happiness Handmade with Ritu Sharma, because happiness can be handmade and can be real. So I have really rightly mentioned here that I'm on a mission to give wings to your creative skills through my workshop. So this is like, I have a vision to reach out to people like me who want to run their startups digitally and make it successful. That's another vision that I'm taking. And I'm really looking forward if I can help someone to be like me and go digital and go and have a successful startup. And that's it from my side. And I just want to conclude with something really nice, and I hope will have a meaning to all of you. I will conclude my presentation with the famous lines written by legendary Dr. Harivansh Rai Bachchan, where he says, "जब तक सफल न हो, नींद चैन को त्यागो तुम, संघर्षों का मैदान छोड़ मत भागो तुम, कुछ किए बिना ही जय जयकार नहीं होती, कोशिश करने वालों की हार नहीं होती." If I could inspire any one of you through my story, then it's a blessing for me. So, in the end, I would really want to thank you all for giving your Yes. So thank you.
Thank you so much, Ms. Ritu, for showing your wonderful presentation. Really, happiness is handmade, and definitely, uh, one entrepreneur have to face so many hardship and effort he has to put. Then only the success comes in your hand. And definitely, because I know you since so many years, and I know that your hardship and your effort that you have put in your work, really, that was very, very important for your success as well. So thank you once again for showing your motivational story to all of us. And definitely, we all would be guided by your this motivational journey. Thank you once again, Ms. Ritu.
Thank you, Dr. Shiva.
Now,
It means a lot.
the journey of entrepreneurs is not easy, and with so many hardships and effort, they get success. But in order to sustain that spirit, or in order to sustain in the competitive world, one need to incorporate certain corporate skills in themselves. So, in this line, I would like to request Ms. Kavita Sirotia, Assistant General Manager, International Business, BR Agrotech Limited, Bharat Group, New Delhi. She has visited number of countries as well, and she has worked in international business. And she has presented her company and demonstrated her products in international expos as well. So I just want to invite her, and please share your knowledge and kindly tell what all qualities are required by a business person in order to sustain in the business world. Kavita Sirotia.
Hello, good afternoon to all. Am I audible?
Yes, yes.
Yes, yes, you are audible.
Yeah, so thank you, respected seniors and my colleagues who have invited me in this today's webinar. So actually, this is the biggest opportunity for me to introduce myself and to share my journey with you all. Because being from Jhansi, it's like a emotional feeling also, because when you are from your hometown and you are giving the your knowledge and sharing your knowledge with the people, uh, because you are a Jhansi girl from the land of Rani Lakshmi Bai, and I learned so many things. I like my journey began from Jhansi, and I was born and brought up in Jhansi only. So for me, it's a really big achievement for me, and sharing the stage with my colleagues, Miss Ritu and Parikshit. And they have shared their story, which is very relatable to small town people, whoever has their struggles in their daily life. First of all, to conquer the daily challenges, to overcome the weaknesses, to daily to showcase people that yes, we can do, we can meet every challenge in our life. Okay, so let me share my presentation to you. Just hold on, if I can. I think Shilpa, can I share the screen?
Yes, from our side it is open. You can share your screen.
Let me check.
Kavita, you can share your screen.
Yeah. But
Please go to the option present screen in the downside.
yeah, I'm sharing. Can you share? Can you see the screen?
Yes, we can see.
Okay. So
Yes, we can see your screen,
yeah, very well. Thank you. So
but nothing
actually,
is visible there. It's only white board is coming there. White screen is coming there.
can you see the? Uh, I'm sharing it. I don't know what is the problem. Can you see the screen like global business leader and influencer? Just hold on. Let me check.
अपना वीडियो पे
I think there is some problem in the screen sharing. Shilpa, can you help me out? Can you see the screen? Anything
Yeah, we
on
can see your screen now.
this is global business leader
Yes,
influencer.
yes, your PowerPoint presentation completely we can see.
Okay, is it visible now?
Yes, yes. Please go ahead.
Okay, okay, great. Sorry for the interruption. So
No problem.
today's my journey as a global leader and influencer started in way back in 2006 when I completed my MBA from Lucknow University. And I want to share like how you can become a successful entrepreneur and business leader and influencer, where I have also participated in Mrs. India in 2021. So it was a biggest achievement in my life, where being from a small town girl, I was at Mrs. India pageant, and I have traveled to more than 20 countries across the globe, and where I visited several countries. Like you can see my screen. Can you see well?
Yes,
Can
yes, we
you
can see. We are seeing.
Okay. So here you can see I have traveled to Egypt, Vietnam, Myanmar, Sudan, Ethiopia, Tanzania, Nigeria, all alone with the international clients. And having said that, I had to face a lot of challenges being a woman where I'm traveling to overseas. As an international business professional, currently I'm working as an assistant general manager in agrochemical company. And I am having more than 14 years of experience in international business. There you can see that I have rose from very simple I was very introvert. I was very simple girl to a public speaker, global influencer. I am a traveler and writer also. And I am a part-time expert panelist with Infoline, and I'm a qualifier and semi-finalist of Mrs. India World 2021. I'm a member of Speakers Travel Global, and I'm association with Passion to Paycheck program with Curly Tails, and I have trained with Abhav Institute, Atal Bihari Bajpayee Institute, and trained more than 500 entrepreneurs. I have trained an Israeli multinational company and their leaders for the leadership program also, because I want to make people understand that leadership is a quality that you have to inculcate by your daily challenges which you see in your professional life. And being from the corporate industry, I want to tell you that why anyone can hire you, why anyone should hire as a person when you are in a daily life where there are many people who can give you competition. So what is your unique selling proposition where you are different from others? Like why anyone should connect with you? Because anyone should connect with you because of your message, because of your originality, and what is the uniqueness and the strengths you have as a person. Why people should buy you, why people should follow you. And do you know that in today's era, where the competition is so much high that 100% of candidates are rejected because of the sloppy application? 90%, 95% of candidates are rejected due to wrong skill set. 70% of candidates cannot sustain their jobs due to unsuitable personality. 89% of professionals automatically left due to bad fit with the designated role. 50% of candidates have a bad impression on recruiters if they are not on time. 77 are rated poorly due to sloppy or poor appearance. 50% are filtered after first round due to lack of passion towards profile. 60% candidates are rejected in HR round due to poor follow-up questions, and 99% candidates are not called for interviews due to their late response. 80% candidates are not hired in a company because of their co-workers don't approve, and 55% are not hired in the same industry due to no references. 20% do not get the leadership jobs due to weak recommendations, and 40% are filtered after final round due to mismatch of their story and background. So I'm telling you why anyone should hire you, because if you are bad fit and if you are not passionate about the job, no one will hire you in the company. And before applying for any job, know what skills you have, because skills are those characteristics which can turn into your brand, and brand that nobody will deny to buy. And you are yourself as a brand, and you have to reskill yourself every 3 months. As a person, when I started my journey in 2006 and where I am in 2021, I have skilled, I'm continuously learning on daily life. I am challenging myself. I am on a self transformation journey where I believe that everyone should learn soft skills and hard skills. A skilled person has better chances of getting a job and to be at peak of their career than those who are not. So I would like to quote that later should not become never, because you should not tell yourself that I will learn this skill later, tomorrow or day after tomorrow, because you have to continuously learn on a daily basis how you can be better than others, how you can learn new things daily. So top 10 corporate skills that are required is soft skills I will talk about is the teamwork. Number one is the teamwork. Number two, communication. Teamwork means that you have to work with a large number of people who has a common objective and goals. And you have to work with them in a collaborative manner, and you have to help each other in daily life, where in offices there are so much competition, there is so much struggle, and there is so much sometimes animosity that you have to work with different minds and with the in a peaceful manner. So you have to have teamwork, communication, time management, problem solving skills, creativity, leadership, organization, emotional intelligence, decision making, and stress management. Whereas when I talk about hard skills, you should have analytical skills, IT skills, basic computer knowledge, customer service skills, presentation skills, team management, project management, marketing, writing skills, and graphic designing. When I talk about teamwork, I talk about certain kinds of things you should have. So, what is meant by team? A team is a group of people who work together towards a common goal. And teams have defined membership where each and every one member of the team have different set of activities where they have to participate and they have to collaborate and they have to work together in doing certain tasks. When you are a team member, you should have a communication skill, both verbal, non-verbal. And communication is not only about how good you can write, it is also about how well you have a body language, your tonality, your pitch, how you convince people, how you cooperate with other people, and how you help other people, and how you can better express yourself when you are with the group of people, and how well you can convince your client to buy your product. Second one is conflict management. When you are with a team member, if your team member is not approving your idea, how you can convince your team member and negotiate with the team members. Even you can have the conflict apart from your team with the other people who are not your team member in your company. There are bosses, there are employees with whom you can have a conflict, but being said that you should be able to manage the conflicts in a proper manner with respectful ways so that other person do not get offended. Third one is reliability. You need to be a reliable team member so that co-workers can trust you with time-sensitive tasks and company information. You should respect each and every member of your team. What is team management style? There are different type of styles a leader has, but when you are managing the team, you should be having a certain kind of style, and you should choose which is the best style you should have, whether it is coach or motivational style, visionary, progress focused and inspirational, servant, humble and protective, autocratic, authoritarian and result focused, laissez-faire or hands-on, autocratic, which means autocratic and delegatory. Sixth one is democratic and supportive. Seventh is pace setter, helpful and motivational. Eighth is transformational, challenging and communicative. Ninth is transactional, performance focused. 10th is bureaucratic, hierarchical, and duty focused. Personally, my style of team management is visionary and coaching style, because I want to coach people and I believe in the vision. I believe that every member of the team can achieve the goals if the vision is clear. If I, as a leader, I'm able to make my team convinced that the goal that I've set is for the benefit of the team as well as for the company. When being a team, when managing the team, firstly the team should have a clear faith and belief on you, and before managing a team you should inculcate the characteristics of a leader, because a leader should be enough, should qualify. Leadership is a quality where without which you cannot achieve the top position in the corporates and managing the teams. And leadership is not, you cannot learn leadership within one day. It takes years and years to learn the exact body language of a leadership, exact mindset of a leader. And leadership is an art, which means there is no right way to do it. Leadership is an attitude where you should build this attitude with humbleness, with kindness, and you should believe on the team member. You should inculcate the habit of faith, trust with each team member. And because there are multiple ways of getting an outcome, but you should help each and every team member and ask them to use their mind, creative mind, to fulfill the vision, the mission of the company. Leadership is not only about getting the things done, it is also about influencing people so that people follow you, people follow your vision. And in leadership, you have to communicate your vision, your mission to all the team members. You have to collaborate, you have to empathize, you have to be kind to your team members, having strong conviction about learning, have a strong conviction to motivate each and every team member, have the risk-taking ability so that your team has a trust on you. Because as a leader, if you are not a risk taker, how your team can believe on you? Ability to influence others, because if you are able to convince and influence and motivate others, then only you can be a successful leader. Understanding the multi-generational methods, how you understand the multiple generations in your company, the seniors, the juniors, and how you can help them to grow as a leader. When you are a leader, you should inspire and motivate others. You should display higher integrity and honesty. You should solve the problems and analyze the issues. You should drive for results. You should communicate powerfully and you should collaborate and promote teamwork. You should build relationships. You should display technical and professional expertise. You should display strategic perspective, and you should take initiatives. You should take innovations strategies, and you should champion the change. You should connect the group to outside the world as well as inside the world, and you should establish stretch goals. you should practice self-development. When I say you should establish stretch goals, it means goal should be smart, like it should be it should be smart, means it should be achievable. Your team should believe in the goal, as well as the goal should be little stretch goals. It means it should not be too easy to achieve. When you are a leader, you should also know how to manage the time, because it is very important in a corporate sector to manage the time, because management wants you to be a top performer. So you should sort emails, you should be productive, you should remember to pause in your daily life, and you should make a habit to say no to the work that is not belong to you. You should attend one task at a time. You should reduce your commuting time. You should utilize your traveling time to do good things. That, like, if you are traveling, you should utilize your time to attain or gain knowledge of those things that can help you in corporate life. Like, if you are using your traveling time for social media, it means you should use that time only for promoting your company on social media, or promoting yourself as a brand on social media. Don't waste your time on unnecessary things like window shoppings and other things. Hire virtual assistant or consultant for miscellaneous financial work. Give an early start to the day. Get enough sleep. Keep distractions away, and make most of your morning time for your personal life and your fitness, your motivation. And you should also learn the Pareto principle, Eisenhower decision matrix, and organize your short goals, follow a timetable, time audits, and use calendar. So what is Pareto principle? Pareto principle says that your 20% of the causes has 80% of results. It means your 20% of the things that you do in your daily life can have 80% of results. It means if you focus on the 20% of important things that are very important, that can give 80% of results. So you should link your actions with the most important 20% of things that can give you 100%, that can give you 80% of the results. So for example, if I am in international business, if I have to get the orders or from a client, so if I have an inquiry, and if I have someone ask me the quote, the offers, so I should first focus on the quotes and the offer submission, so that I can get the orders on time. If I do not waste my time on unnecessary things, I will save my time, and I will only focus on the 20% of important things that can give me 80% of the results. And Eisenhower decision matrix is a very important key factor while taking the decisions in daily life. It means that you have to focus on the important and the urgent things, and which you have to do immediately. Which are not important and urgent, you should take a decision, or you can defer them. Which are urgent but not important, which you can delegate the responsibility to your juniors, you can delegate it. Which are not important, not urgent, you can delete or discard those things, or discard those pending things which are in your office work, or anything that is not related to you, not urgent, not important, you can delete it or discard it. So most important thing that is for self growth, I would like to say that you have to do positive affirmation practice, you have to do daily journaling, you have to exercise, you have to meditate, and you have to polish your hobbies, and you have to practice self love, and make your dream chart. Like you can see on the screen that I had made my dream chart, where I had put certain things on the dream chart that I have to achieve in my life. And there are many things that I have achieved since 2 years because of the actions that I have taken in my personal life as well as my professional life. So I believe that success is a journey, not a destination. And if your goals are you seems that it is intimidating and it is scary, then break them into small short-term goals, and believe on your before setting a goal, you should also work on your action plan, that how you will achieve those goals, because success is a journey, not a destination. And I believe that if you have to do anything in your life, just begin today and do not wait for the tomorrow, because today is the day, or maybe your today is the day only, it could be the last day of your life, because your best is yet to come. Your because your today is not your, maybe you're trying to become the successful, career, or making a you want to be number one in any industry, so your best is yet to come. You have to always believe that your best is yet to come, and your best is yet to come. So further, I would like to end my slide, and I will say that that always believe on yourself, and never ever try to lower yourself, or you think that you are not capable enough to achieve your dreams, because success is a journey, not a destination. I would like to
Thank you so much, Kavita, for such a wonderful presentation. Really, you have given so many mantras to get success and to sustain yourself in the corporate world. You have speak about reskill every 3 months, reskill yourself every month and learn soft skills, hard skills. You talk about time management. You talk about how to influence yourself, how to groom up, how to explore yourself. You have given so many self growth tips. And even you have talked about Pareto theorem. You talked about Heisenhower decision metrics. Definitely, these all mantras will definitely help us out, and to seek sturdy qualities in employees, one must have well acquainted corporate skills. Thank you so much once again, Kavita, for coming and joining this session. And thank you, all the speakers. Now, I request Dr. Ira Tiwari, Assistant Professor, Department of Banking, Economics and Finance, and the coordinator of social media in IIC. I just request her to conduct question and answer session round.
Am I audible? Okay. So,
Hello, hello everyone. My name is Rishi Kumar, and my questions to Parikshit sir: how one can select or screen the best digital platform to sell and show your product and show USP unique selling property.
Thank you so much, Rishi, for this question. So I have a simple toolkit for you. If you are into B2C domain, the right platform for you is Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. If you are in B2B domain, B2B, you can choose Facebook and LinkedIn. Because if you are going for a bigger share, I always prefer go for the LinkedIn and Facebook. If you are selling small products, 1,000 to 10,000 mid range, you can select Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter as well. And you have to see which platform is working for you with a trial and test method. Thank you so much, Rishi. Any other question?
Is there a video out there? So Anjali, please share for us. Hello everyone. My question is from Ritu Mishra ma'am. In the rural societies like Bundelkhand, parents don't easily allow business or entrepreneurship as a career. They think their children should become doctor, engineer, or teacher. Also, in the cities, rural areas, we get less opportunities and exposure for the dancing, singing, art, and crafts. But in big cities like Delhi and Mumbai, we get exposure in every field and opportunities. Also, we get parent supports. I have completed my master's in economics, now teaching to students. Although I love crafts, arts, and painting, but at that time my parents don't allow me to go in that career. So I just wanted to ask you how to, overcome with this problem.
Yeah. Hi, thank you, Anjali, for that question. I think when I was like you, or maybe earlier days, I had faced a similar kind of situation. Like my father was also, like every parent has a traditional belief that the child should complete graduation, can go into engineering or somewhere like that. But then with me, I would say that I had a passion from the childhood only. So I could actually convince my father, and I will tell you a short story behind that. That my father gave me just one chance. That I told him that I want to give the exam, entrance exam for College of Art. But if I don't get through, I'll come back and just do a normal BCom or something. So the so he agreed for that, and I went into it. And because I was coming from a small town out after 12th, I was not aware that there is professional training that is required to even attempt for that exam. So I couldn't get through that. But then without his knowledge, I applied in every place in Delhi where because I was very clear that I have to do this, and I'll see later on how I have to convince my father. So I actually got through textile designing. So yeah, I think if you're really clear in your head from the beginning that you have to do something of that, maybe the confidence that you can show to your parents by putting in little effort. Like my father actually saw me from my childhood that I've been painting and all that stuff, so he could see that inclination. So one is that that confidently tell your parents that you are thinking in the right direction, and at least you should get a chance to make a try. And because nothing ends, or nothing, even if you make a start with something new, and you don't succeed, that is not the end of the life. So give them the confidence, I would say. And to even like art and craft, I would say, is a kind of therapy, of improving your personality, improving your inner self, and taking out your feelings even on paper and all. So this is not only for students and children, it is for every age group. So like I do workshops where I have people 60 plus. So I think letting them know about all these factors, and then making them understand uh, will somewhere make an initiative in their mind that okay, let us stand with her. So it's important to just keep a say and just speak out what you want from inside. Yeah.
Thank you so much, ma'am,
Thank you.
for answering.
Hello, is it open mic? Can we ask? Okay, All right. Okay. So we had, this is Rajat here. We had a great time learning new things that we did not know, especially from Mr. Parikshit about the video making tool and the Hootsuite, the social media posting, and then also from Miss Kavita. There were hundreds of nuggets of wisdom in these presentations, but some of the most hard hitting that stand out, like Miss Kavita's dream boarding, snapshot was very, very powerful. So we are from Miss Ritu's handmade community, and one of the things she has not mentioned is that few times in a year she does classes for the lesser artistically able, where she is kind of teaching us how to make watercolors. And like in Diwali, she just held like a class where even the most artistically challenged people could build their own diyas and all that by hand. So if you folks have any like online classes or anything, or you can probably, Miss Ritu can reach out to you and invite you to do a guest lecture or something. I know it's a time commitment, but we can probably try to make it like 20-30 minutes, or maybe in the next event at ISC, we can have certain longer time with you just to go deeper into the concepts.
Mr. Rajat, I would like to give you insight about the dream chart. Actually, can you hear me?
Yes, very audible.
Yeah. So actually, I had never ever dreamt of that I would be participating in Mrs. India World. So actually, that could be my dream. But I had never conceptualized on the paper. So the thing is that when you start writing your dreams on daily basis, whatever the visions, whatever you have passions in your life, and you will, when you will start writing, you one day you will finalize that okay, you are at a wrong place maybe sometimes, or whatever you wanted, this is not the career you meant for, or you can have you can be somewhere else or at a very good position where you have never expected. So when I wrote certain things, or when I started designing, or because there is one lady who is very famous motivational speaker, Dr. Shivangi Malatia, and she asked us for start writing our dreams and make a picture drawing of all the dreams that are whatever you wanted from your life. So I could see that there are 5 to 6 things what I wanted from my life, and till now maybe I have achieved only 2 to 3 things, and maybe I'm not working on the right direction in my life. So when you will when who are good at designing or arts, because I'm very bad in arts actually. So whatever the bad or however but the dream, you can see clearly actually what you want to become, and what are the things that you wanted in your life, or what are the pending things that you wanted to do in your life. So this is very healthy exercise, and I would suggest that every student or any or homemaker or teach or whoever in any industry or company or sector, they should start writing their dreams on daily basis. This is my suggestion. Thank you very much.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you, Kavita. Thank you, Rajat.
I want to address one question over there. As asked by Ms. Akshita, how to use social media without getting distracted. And I think even Kavita covered that we have to use social media very wisely. So, how will you differentiate between doing social media marketing and using social media for pleasure? You can do the same by setting day to day goals. If you open up Facebook, your goal should be I will post about my product, then I will close my Facebook account. If you're using Facebook to scroll the photos, it's called distraction. If you're using Facebook specifically for any desired goal, that I will tell people about my product, so that's called social media marketing. You have to pre-plan your activity. In that manner, you can control this particular addiction as well. That what's the purpose if you're checking Instagram, whether it's to check the number of followers that you got, or whether to see is there any message. In that manner, by setting small goal, you can overcome your social media addiction, and you can do social media marketing as well. That's all I have to share. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Parikshit sir. I have a question for Mr. Parikshit Khanna. Okay,
Ye-
am I audible?
Yes, you are audible.
Sir, you said there are failures in the entrepreneurship. Like how to overcome those failures? Like initial setbacks are always a big blow on us. How to overcome those failures? Can you please explain?
Okay, the question is how to overcome the failure is
Yeah.
by learning from them. Because throughout my journey, I have given around 100 presentation. If I would have learned from my one failure, I could have improved it for my next presentation. The only way to overcome your failure is to overcome the mistakes that you are doing. Suppose you are giving a presentation, you need to ask the jury member, please give the feedback. If they believe they will, like suppose the feedback which I got, Parikshit Khanna, your presentation is very, it's not complete. You have to share more detail about accounts part. So the feedback which I got is I need to work on my finances if I want to get seed funding. So the only way to succeed from the failure is by learn, then implement in your next presentation. The more you learn, the more you overcome your failure. You have to keep on learning, but you have to keep on trying as well. Don't stop yourself by thinking that you will fail. You have to, like, even if you fail, you will learn from that particular mistake.
That
Thank you
was
so much.
valuable input, sir.
Thank you so much, Ram. Thank you.
From Kavita. Yes. Good afternoon, मैम. मैम मैं ये पूछना चाहता हूँ, जैसे मेरे पिताजी एक किसान हैं और मैं यहाँ लोकल टाउन से झांसी से हूँ, स्मॉल टाउन. तो मैं आगे जैसे आप लोग भी इस जगह पे पहुँचे हैं तो कहीं ना कहीं शुरुआत आपने की होगी छोटे से. तो मैं ऐसे बड़ी ड्रीम कैसे देख सकता हूँ और उन पे कैसे चल सकता हूँ और वहाँ पे मैं कैसे पहुँच सकता हूँ, तो इसमें आप मार्गदर्शन करें प्लीज.
मिस्टर सुमित, मेरे दादाजी और जालौन से हैं. जालौन में एक गांव है सोनी.
यस.
जालौन में एक गांव है सोनी सदुपुरा. ठीक है.
यस मैम, मेरा भी डिस्ट्रिक्ट वहीं से है, लोकल
जालौन से है. ओके, जालौन से है. मेरे पापा पुलिस में भर्ती हुए थे 1981 में एंड ही स्टार्टेड विद 150 रुपीज. तो वो झांसी में स्टार्ट किया, हम्बल बैकग्राउंड. और मैंने पढ़ाई की है HM मेमोरियल गर्ल्स इंटर कॉलेज, हिंदी मीडियम है, मतलब हिंदी इंग्लिश मान के चलो. ठीक है. फिर मैंने बिपिन बिहारी से BSc करी, बिपिन बिहारी डिग्री कॉलेज. ओके. उसके बाद मैंने UPTU का MBA का एग्जाम दिया. उसमें काफी चैलेंजेस आए, नहीं करना है, पैसे नहीं है, MBA तो बहुत खर्चा वाला है, कैसे करोगी. वो भी किया जैसे तैसे. फिर उसके बाद उस समय वर्ल्ड का सबसे बिगेस्ट रिसेशन आया हुआ था, जबकि 26/11 अटैक हुआ USA सब जगह. तो जॉब नहीं मिली, कैंपस भी नहीं हुआ. आप सोचिए, कैंपस प्लेसमेंट भी नहीं हुआ मेरा. कैसे हुआ? मैंने वॉक इन इंटरव्यूज दिए. मैंने फर्स्ट जॉब 8,000 रुपीज में स्टार्ट की. 2006 में मैंने MBA 2008 से. तो आप धीरे धीरे जो भी चैलेंजेस आए, फैमिली बोले पैसे नहीं है, मम्मी पापा बोले नहीं जाना है कहीं, तो अपना एक पहले बनाओ दिमाग में कि करना क्या. मेरा एक ही एम था कि मुझे नौकरी करनी है, अपने पैरों पे खड़ा होना है. ठीक है. उसमें किसी ने कोई रिश्तेदार नहीं है, कोई पता नहीं कहाँ जाना है. दिल्ली आए, हॉस्टल में रहे, वॉक इन इंटरव्यूज दिए, नोएडा में, कभी गुड़गांव में, कभी कहीं गए, इंटरव्यूज दिए, पहली जॉब मिली. उसके धीरे धीरे करके एग्जीक्यूटिव, सीनियर एग्जीक्यूटिव, असिस्टेंट मैनेजर, डिप्टी मैनेजर, अभी असिस्टेंट जनरल मैनेजर. तो अभी क्या है कि अपने ड्रीम्स पे अडिग रहो. कोई अगर आपको बोलता है ना कि नहीं आप कर नहीं सकते, आप पैसे नहीं है, बैठ जाओ घर पे, तो पहले अपने आप को एक होता है ना, खुद में एक कॉन्फिडेंस होना चाहिए कि मुझे ये करना है.
Yes, ma'am.
कोई भी रुकावट तो कोई तरीके भी आ सकती है. शादी हो गई, जैसे मेरी शादी के बाद आपको जॉब करनी है कि नहीं करनी है, आगे क्या होगा, नहीं कर सकते, बहुत सारे चैलेंजेस आएंगे लाइफ में. तो उनसे डरना नहीं है सबसे पहली बात. तो अपने ड्रीम्स पे अडिग रहना है, और जो ड्रीम है उसको लिखो, और क्या बनना है आगे लाइफ में उस पे बिल्कुल अडिग रहो, और कोई भी चैलेंज आए और उससे घबराओ नहीं। और अपना मेंटरशिप, अपने मेंटर्स 2-3 अपने मेंटर रखो, जो आपके सीनियर हो या कॉलेज के सीनियर हो, जो या इंडस्ट्रीज में हो, किसी नौकरी में काम करते हो, उनसे पूछो कि आपने कैसे जॉब मिली, आपको कैसे प्रॉब्लम आई, तो उनसे सीखो। अगर रिज्यूमे अपना अपडेट करना है, नौकरी के लिए अप्लाई कैसे करना है, naukri.com पे अपना रिज्यूमे कितना पावरफुल होना चाहिए, अपनी इमेज बना, बिल्डिंग अपनी इमेज को सुधारो। अगर लगता है कि पर्सनालिटी में कोई प्रॉब्लम है, पर्सनालिटी डेवलपमेंट क्लास लो। अगर लगता है कि कम्युनिकेशन में कोई प्रॉब्लम लग रही है, तो अपनी स्वॉट एनालिसिस करो, अपनी स्ट्रेंथ और वीकनेस पे काम करो, ठीक है? और जरूर
यस मैम।
सफलता मिलेगी, जरूर मिलेगी, 100% गारंटी मिलेगी।
थैंक यू मैम, थैंक यू सो
ओके,
मच।
थैंक यू वेरी मच।
Yeah. Am I audible now? क्या मेरी आवाज आ रही है?
Yep.
Yeah. Okay. Okay. Thank you so much. So my question is from Ritu ma'am, and I wish to ask that pandemic has caused a lot of losses to the entrepreneurs, especially to the small entrepreneurs. So what are your advices regarding surviving in this pandemic era? Because you have chosen to be unconventional, and that is the best mantra, I think, because these times are uncertain, and being unconventional can only support you. So what are your advices regarding surviving in this era, and how to actually small enterprises can cash upon this pandemic, like how to actually save yourself from the crisis?
This question is for me.
Yeah, from Ritu ma'am.
Okay, okay. Thank you, Dr. Eva.
Yeah.
So I have actually survived through this pandemic. Like the 2 years have been really challenging for me because, as I said, when I was working, at the same time I was doing exhibitions, but then suddenly in the pandemic, I actually lost my job, and all kind of responsibility, the house responsibility, everything is there. So when you are into an entrepreneur journey, what I feel is important to understand that the graph will never be straight. There will be always times when we have ups and downs. So I think uh, the the most important thing which everyone should keep in mind is that we just have to keep going. If you're really serious about the journey that you have begun, if you're really serious about reaching to a certain level what you have thought of, so it's very important, so very important to just keep going, because hardships you will have to face, everyone will have to face, whether it could be monetary, it could be from home front, it could be any kind of challenges, but keep the confidence and a little patience, because startups actually, uh, the most I think it's the most challenging thing because in job you have the certainty of getting money and you're secured on the monetary front, and financially you don't have those ups and downs. So for a startup, I would recommend that keep the confidence of moving ahead and never give up. And second is that you have to keep some patience, because all the days are not the same. And it's all about your aim and your goal, and and the dream, of course, because that is a dream. Every startup begins with a dream, and dreams are actually not that what we see when we are sleeping. They are when which don't let us sleep. So I think your dream should be the best motivator for you to keep going. And one day you will look back and see, okay, I've come so far. So yeah, so it's an endless journey. It's a beautiful one and challenging, and one must keep going. That is my mantra, and that is how I'm moving ahead. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Ritu. And my next question is, in fact, I have questions for all the three speakers because you have been very motivating for all of us. So my next question is for Parikshit, sir. So Parikshit, I would like to ask that you have been juggling different responsibilities, like you are an author, you are a digital media influencer, then you are a trainer. So many different but diversified portfolio that you are having, and this is quite challenging. Like author being itself is challenging, and then digital marketer. So how you are managing all of that, and especially how digital marketing has aided in your authorship, like selling of books, and besides the question which was being posed to you earlier, that which you answered very well, that social media is more of an entertainment pursuit, and to use it in that context, because I'm also social media coordinator of IIC. So how to actually promote these things effectively while handling different responsibilities?
Uh, Thank you so much again for this particular question. Uh, Starting from the first question, if you're doing so many things, you're author, you're co-author, or a digital marketer, trainer, you have to prioritize your thing. So when I was asked to become a co-author, I prioritized that thing on the top of the chart. I completed that book. Then the next task was to become a trainer. If I'm a trainer, I have to give a priority. So if I have a session with anyone, I prioritize and I completed that particular task. Or if I say, if you make to-do list and you set your weekly and daily goal, it will help you to prioritize your work. So as a social media coordinator for IAC, I have a like I ask you to like contact me after the session. I can come up with better social media strategies, and on the basis of what is the current goal of IAC, we can come up with a strategy. But again, coming back to the question, if you have to prioritize each and everything, you can juggle up many hats as well, and you can also become a jack of all trades, like which means that you are doing 50 different things, but you have to give priority to what thing which is urgent. Suppose you have to achieve some specific goal in IIC in terms of engagement, your goal should be specific, and you have a goal that you have to complete a book. While completing a book, I set a deadline for 7 days. So if so after by setting that particular deadline, I managed to complete that particular task as well. So in Crux, you can set to-do list, you can set deadline, you can set your weekly and daily goal. In that manner, you can also juggle up with different heads. And I think all the ladies that are here, they might be doing multitask much more effectively than what I'm doing. So I think everyone is having this particular skill. So I need to ask
Yes,
each and every
certainly
one
we
of
all
you.
are. So that is really funny, and no doubt all of women are naturally blessed with multitasking. But your profile seems so diversified and
Yes.
challenging and innovative. So I was bound to put up this question to you.
Thank you.
And finally, my question to Kavita madam. So Kavita is like your journey has been really inspiring. That as you answered Sumit also, that you come from a small town in Jalon and you went on to participate the Mrs. India contest, and you learned everything on your own, and now you are with a big corporate house, especially in agribusiness management. So that's really, really inspiring. My only question is that if you, regarding, it's not like you belong to Jhansi, and since you are working in this AVM sector, So what are the opportunities for our youth, particularly in this sector, and how to cash upon those opportunities? And as you have a very internationally diversified portfolio, even in beauty pageant, so how you can guide, like how our students can be guided in different domains, and what are your priority areas of suggestions to them?
Thank you, ma'am, for the question. So actually, when you are born in a small town, some kind of challenges every one person has. Communication gap, like sometimes we feel that we are not having good communication, personality, and financial issues, family pressure. There are different kind of challenges. Being said that, I have overcome certain kind of challenges, but there I had also failed a lot of failures in my life regarding, like, suppose during campus I could not get the campus placements because of being girl, because every company used to ask me questions like whether your family will allow you to live alone in a hostel, or when I was trying to get the international business job, I was asked whether you will be able to attend a client in the midnight during night hours, like, or will you be able to travel alone independently all across, because the longest traveling is 25 days continuously. I traveled to Egypt, Ethiopia, Tanzania, and Sudan, covered 4 countries, 4 visas, and 2 exhibitions. The Sahara exhibition is the biggest one. It has around 4,000 footfalls in a day. So like different kind of challenges every person has in their lives, but what is your ultimate goal and the purpose of your life? First, the person should understand. And my ultimate goal in my life was to be independent, to be financially independent, and to create my own name in my industry. So first of all, any person, first of all, they should know where they have to go, in which industry, what is the career choices they have to make in their life. If somebody is in the doing BTech and the person is not interested in engineering, that person should be immediately shift the career and should find out the ultimate purpose where the person wants to go. And why like being in the corporate industry, I chose Mrs. India pageant because it was one of my dream that I have to participate in a beauty pageant. And now beauty pageant is not about showing the beauty, how beautiful you are. It is also about the holistic personality and the overall personality of a person, inside and outside. So when I participated in the pageant, so I was trained by the modeling coach, the ram walk trainer Alicia Raut, who has trained Priyanka Chopra and Kangna, everyone in the industry, whoever goes to Miss World even, so she trains her. And Audrey De Silva, who was the Miss India Goa, and she trained us for makeup and grooming etiquettes. Dr. Shivangi Maletia, who is the motivational speaker. Mickey Mehta, Dr. Mickey Mehta, who is the fitness coach. So, like, apart from your career, what is your personal goal in your life for self growth as a person? So, see, every person has a, what is the meaning of success in your life? Is only getting salary, good salary, or being work in a big multinational company? For me, success means also helping others, and to help the people who are not having the all the availabilities, like persons even from Jalon or from Jhansi. If they want my help, my guidance, I am always ready to give them, because I want every person to grow. The ladies should be empowered from small areas. The women who are homemakers, they should also find out what is the way they can be independent in their life. So only thing you should understand is that you should understand what is the ultimate purpose of your life, and what is the method, what are the ways, and what is the footpath you have to follow. And in that, you have to have certain mentors in your life. mentor means any teacher or senior. You should continuously look up to them and to seek their guidance. And even across your industry, like in agrochemical industry I'm working, so I also take advices from my seniors, like somebody working in UPL is the biggest #1 company in India. So I talk to them if I have a problem internationally, with any problem I have, if I am traveling to any country and I don't know how to go there, whether it is safe. So I discuss with people. I have social networking. I talk to people across the industry also. So be open, network well with the people, and understand what are your key strengths and how you can achieve your goals. So there are different things that have, and on daily basis you have to be a learner. You have to learn new things, whether it is social media. In social media also, how you can scale yourself up as a brand, as an individual. You can brand yourself as a person, so that across the industry people recognize you as a person. So there are different things you can do in your life. Yes.
Your journey has been really, really inspiring, Kavita.
Thank you.
And it's a really great pleasure to have you on board with us today.
Thank you.
So, I mean, I'm heartfelt thank to all the three speakers who spared their valuable time for us and guided us and our students in this noble endeavor, because it's a non-profit initiative by universities under the umbrella term of the Institution Innovation Council. But as a formal vote of thanks, I would just like to summarize your major points, and I would also thank all the people who were involved in this endeavor. So to begin with, the first speaker of the session was Mr. Parikshit Khanna, and he started with the concept of no guts, no glory. He spoke about 3 failures he suffered, and it really takes a great deal of courage to speak about someone's failure, which Parikshit did very well. He talked about his corporate achievements, and he also said that I don't wish to talk much about corporate achievements. That is again a very humble gesture. He told the relevant apps and websites for the owners. And certainly, sir, I would like to inform you that we have been actually using Canva for our presentations, which I learned from one of my colleagues, Anjali, who is incidentally a research scholar here. So others will definitely try. Grammarly we are using. So in the capacity of digital marketing, that you said, stop using copy and paste, which we also propagate in research under no plagiarism. So Dios has been a very enlightening lecture, sir. And we are indeed blessed to have you in our session, and would like to have you associated with you in the later events as well. And then we had Ms. Ritu Sharma, who is also associated with us in this event, and he talked very well about the journey of an entrepreneur and how to choose to be unconventional. And ma'am, the best part was that you showed pictures of your college gang, school gang. This is so enlightening, and it is so refreshing to see you as a young girl when you are striving to achieve your dreams, and the beginning of your startup journey, the collaboration of your family members. Incidentally, she is the sister-in-law of Dr. Shilpa Mishra ma'am here. And we keep on hearing about her achievements. That's how we get to know about you, ma'am. And it is so great to have you on board today. You also told about that you actually tried testing for features, and you actually involved okay, how this will actually go on board. And even I have a personal collection of your purse, which I purchased from madam earlier, and I know how durable, how long lasting your products are. So happiness is indeed handmade, madam, how you are trying this. I hope in future you would be recruiting several women in their noble endeavor, and you will be setting up an example of MSMEs, as you belong to Jhansi and you are also from a small town, and how you have uncovered your path. That's really, really amazing and inspiring. A big salute to you, ma'am. And then we finally have Kavita ma'am with us, and I also heard about her from Dr. Shilpa ma'am, as you have been a classmate of madam, I believe, earlier. So indeed, every word you spoke came directly from your heart as an entrepreneur, as a business influencer, as a participant of Mrs. India. You have set records which few people from this area can ever achieve to be. You have been inspiration for many. And you spoke about leadership as a quality, and the main message was, which you tried to spread, was of originality. And how regarding marketing, you were like a true marketing professor when you told that why people should buy you. You need to have the right set of skills with you. You talked about your how to communicate well verbally and non-verbally. So, and finally, in the question answer sessions, the true feelings of all the speakers came from their heart and how you addressed the audience. It's something that you are rare gems, and we have been really blessed to have you on board today. Institution Innovation Council owes a lot to you, and we hope that Bundelkhand students will gain a lot by hearing your experiences. Thank you so much to all the eminent speakers. I'm really thankful to Dr. Shilpa Mishra ma'am, who has organized this section for IIC, and she took efforts to reach out to our eminent speakers and schedule the session with them, to coordinate the event, to arrange for other formalities. So big thanks to Dr. Shilpa Mishra madam, who is always a leading faculty of our department, and whenever she is also been associated with NSS and Women's Cell, and whenever any innovative or entrepreneurial ability comes into the picture, madam is always at the forefront. So thank you so much, Dr. Shilpa ma'am. I'm thankful to Ms. Anjali Jha, who is our technical collaborator and is also the member of Innovation Council, Institution Innovation Council. She is very good with all the technicalities and arranging things and designing of posters, arranging Google Meet sessions, handling the electronic related small features in this aspect. And I'm thankful to all the students who have been there and all our participants. But finally, and most importantly, I'm thankful to Professor Aparna Raj madam, who is the convener of the IIC cell. We have done wonderfully in the IIC 3.0 session under her leadership. And now we are blessed to have launched into the IIC 4 session, and to our convener, Professor M.M. Singh sir, who is our convener, and his guidance remains supreme. He was supposed to deliver welcome address, but he got engaged in some meeting, so I had to take over. And it was my pleasure indeed to welcome you all, and to give a vote of thanks to you all. And I'm finally thankful to all the audience who came from different walks of life here and spared their valuable time and energy, asked questions, and became a part of the event. So thank you all. Thanks a lot. Namaste.
Thank you, Dr. Veera. Thank you, Dr. Shilpa, and really thankful to the university and the IIC for giving us an opportunity. This is the first time ever that I'm participating. I was really excited, and I'm actually feeling really honored to be here, to be part of
And
this.
we are honored to have you. And in fact, it's a great thing to have you on board. And we would like to invite our eminent speakers sometimes for an offline session, because we feel your personalities are too strong only to be captured online. So we would like to have an offline interaction with you all. Thank you so much.
I
With
also
your
want to
permission.
yeah. I really want to thank Kavita and Parikshit also for being so supportive and so powerful. And I'm so inspired by both of your journey. So I'm really taking away a lot from here. Thank you.
True, ma'am. True. So, in the capacity of social media coordinator of IIC, I, Dr. Reera Tiwari, give a heartfelt thanks to all of you. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you very much. Thanks to all. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you so much for the wonderful comment. Looking for the more session like this. Thank you.
Yes.
Yeah. Looking forward to come like physically at the university soon. Thank you.
Soon. Sure, Kavita. Sure.
Okay. Bye.